I'm gonna tell you why you can import your own 3 kilowatt CNC fiber laser for cutting metal for about 25 to 30,000 euros directly from China and getting a great machine for your own workshop. First of all, you can import it yourself. You buy a machine, you educate yourself, you learn a lot, you watch videos. Thanks for watching. And then you just contact a Chinese manufacturer that you trust, like Hongniu. They built me a great machine and also a press brake. That's going to be a next video. You pay them, you call a local shipping agent, and they will arrange everything for you. After 2 or 3 months, there will be a big shipping container, and you can pull this machine out. But first, small demonstration, just to show you that, yes, it works. I can use the controller to move it around. And then I can say, frame it, and then it will show the outline of the project that we were gonna cut. That will fit nicely over there. I'm gonna cut with the hood up so I can show you. So I'm gonna wear the safety goggles. And these are a bit much, but we also have a laser welder, and that's what we use it for. So, and let's get the camera. And press the big green button after starting the automatic dust collector system. And this is 4mm thick carbon steel. We're cutting it by air, oxygen, not air. And I can show you the cutting process in a moment. First I'm gonna put the camera back. I'm gonna use a piece of cloth because it's gonna be hot. And let me turn off the extractor fan. We use the oxygen, the bottles, because it will give a much nicer cut than using compressed air with a big compressor. And it's really cheap. I can cut 4 or 5 hours with one bottle, and the bottle is 40 euros. So oxygen cutting is nice. You can see the finish here. I hope you let me check on camera if it's clear. Yes. That is the finish. And you don't have to, it's hot, so I'm not going to touch it too much, but it's not sharp at all. This is ready for powder coating. I can just send it to the powder coater, get it back, and it will be nice. So this is the top side, and this is the back side. Nothing is done on it. Why did we choose Hongniu? I visited China a few years ago for the buying of our CNC routers. And I have still got a few contacts over there, and I asked around, and I used Alibaba to find a few other suppliers. But Hongniu was price really good, professional advice, so they know what they were talking about, and not only a salesperson that is trying to sell you a machine. And it was, how do you call it? No nonsense company. And when we push the door forward, it will come out. And you can just get all your parts. Wait, let me zoom out a bit. That's better. You can get all your parts, make it nice, and put a new sheet in and start working again. And that is push back. You can see the door going down. This is a big door. It's really heavy. And it's hanging by 2 steel cables. And it goes to a drum over there where they wind and unwind it. And maybe I'm a bit over dramatic. But I installed 2 safety catchers. One here and one over there. And that are the ones that they use in the working on height. It's like the same as with the car belt system. If you pull it slowly, it gives it out, and if you pull it hard, it will block. It's probably not necessary, but it gives me a better feeling. Over here, you see the nitrogen that we use for cutting stainless steel. That is under a lot of pressure, so you empty your bottle in about 15 minutes, but also the cutting is so fast. And this is the oxygen that will cut carbon steel. It will cut slower, but it's gonna be a very, very nice finish, like I just showed you. Of course, this is the machine. All the wiring and the controllers and the motor drivers are on that side. I'm gonna show you right now. But first I'm going to show you the rest of it. And that's over here. This is the cooler. That is to water cooler to cool the laser power supply. And also the machine head. There is a water-cooled head for prevent overheating. This is a rectifier. Like you can see, the incoming voltage from our grid is about 400 volts and what's going out is 390. And this will keep the machine and the power output stable. Over here is the big dust collector with an inverter that will ramp it up slowly. Here is a service door that we almost never use, but you can see the inside of the machine. It's well lit, it's nicely built, and here you can see the safety catches that I installed. It's not necessary, it just makes me sleep better. The controller is seep cut, and I really like it. It's really user friendly. There is a big camera so you can see inside of the machine, and as you can see there is an error, and that is because I pressed the emergency switch. That will shut down everything and then you can open it up. These are the manual controls. And I've removed the doors just to show you how it's internally wired. If you see neat wiring, it's done by the Chinese. If you see crappy wiring, it's done by me. What I do advise you, look at every part and ask for the manual of it. Because in 10 years, something happens, you want to have a manual. Nice and neat. Here is the main power supply, main relays, the inverters for the frame of the machine bed and the door, the servos, and they are delta from the X, Y and Z axis, and they are connected with ATECAT, really nice, really clean. There is the controller that reads all the inputs and outputs, and that will control all the relays. And that's about it. This is our own add-on. This is a timing relay that will keep the extractor fan running for a few minutes after the job is done. Then we have the brake resistors. If you want to speed up a motor, you're gonna have to give it some juice, some electricity, power. But if you want to slow down, it will become a generator. And the servo drives will dump all the power into the resistors, and then it can brake the motor faster. It's good for acceleration and of course deceleration. This is the computer. The laser source is down here, and that is always shipped separately. Difficult word for non-native English speakers. The Trarecus power source, and this is just an internet cable, network cable that's lying on top. You don't need it. This is the fiber optic cable, and it's a standard length, and that goes through the machine all the way to the machine head. You cannot shorten this. This is just how it is. Over here, we have the connections for the air, for the oxygen, etc. The automatic oiling system that was not set well. It was giving a lot of oil, so there was oil everywhere. And I just tuned it back until there was a nice oil film on all the linear guides. That's about it for this. There is a main switch on the machine, but we don't use it. I have one main contactor on the outside of the machine, and that will power on everything. That will power on the laser source, the inverter for the dust collector, and then the entire machine is on or off. You don't have to do separate switches for something. Okay, so overall, at the moment, we are really happy with this machine. But no, it wasn't perfect when it came out of the shipping container. I made a small list. There's no manual. And that's, I think, I've bought a lot of machines from China, a lot. And there was never a manual. And I guess that their mentality is a bit different. And they think, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, why would you buy a machine if you don't know how to use it? That's just different. In Europe or in the United States, I guess, you buy something and you learn yourself. You start reading, join the internet, whatever. But Chinese machines don't have a really functional manual. Then again, I guess it's not possible to write a manual for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. They can't fix their own bike, whatever, to buy this machine and install it. You have to have some basic knowledge about what's a multimeter, how does three-phase power work, why is the sensor not responding, what am I doing wrong? Because everything that went wrong with this machine was my fault. And yes, some things could be nicer in finish or in how it was connected or fastened. But I believe that's part of getting to know the machine. You install it, you check everything, you see a loose nut or something. It's also part of shipping. When something is on a boat for 6 weeks, some things will come loose. And if you buy the machine and you install it, it's your job to do the final checkup of everything. Okay, what was wrong? No manual, told you that. But what they do is they put you in a group chat with 10 engineers. And you can contact them 24 hours a day. I've been with friends on a Saturday evening having a beer, and they said, that's bullshit. And I said, here's my phone, let's see. And I typed in a group chat, can you say hi? Because my friends don't believe that there was always somebody on standby to help. And 2 minutes later, we were chatting with the Chinese in the bar. When there's no manual and you've got a laser source and you have to install it in a machine and you've never done that before, start Googling. You'll learn how to do it. You can see pictures. There is something about it in the manual, but it's not enough. Again, you must be an engineer to buy a machine like this. You must be a machine nerd for a bit and willing to learn and spend time with your machine. The smoke extractor was not wired to the machine. They see the smoke extractor as a separate thing, not connected to the machine, and they say just put a manual switch on it. Turn it off, turn it on. I don't like that. So I used the signal light output, the green light that gets green when the machine is running, and I put a timing relay on it. So whenever I say I'm gonna cut, I can put this switch from off to automatic, and whenever the machine moves, the dust collector will start and it will keep running after the machine is done for about 2 minutes to get all the air out, all the smoky air. The I/O, some I/Os, the safety I/Os were not set. So the water cooler, I've had multiple of them also on CO2 lasers. They never break down. But the signal, if there's a blockage or something is wrong, that will stop the machine, was wired. So the wires were connected, but it was not set in SeepCut. So we did it ourselves. We just opened the software, had a look around, took a few hours to understand everything, and then think, oh, probably it works like that. First make a backup, do some changes, how you like it, press enter and start to test it. Now it works. Also some of the signals, like machine is moving, were in Chinese. And if you open the SeepCut config, you can edit everything to your own liking. And we do everything in English. Let me check what I'm forgetting. Done? Done. Done. Okay. The machine works. It works fine. I think it's reliable. It's about half a year old now, so it's not new. It's not like the unboxing video where I totally have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm also not a seasoned engineer for fiber lasers at the moment. But I can use it and it's reliable. Then, how came I to this machine? There are several manufacturers in Jinan that are making this type of machine with the side loading doors. I like this because it's the most compact. I visited Senfeng, I visited Boder, and I visited G-Wick, G-Wijken, and I visited VMade. Yeah, and I talked to a lot more. And I came to Hongniu because my Chinese contact from another company said, try them, they are good. And the fun thing is, I didn't find them on the internet. Their website is nice, but somehow it's difficult to find. But my contact said, try them. And from the first moment, the communication was nice, but also their factory. There are, let's say, 200 machines in several workshops in several stages of being finished. And I've seen the welding, like the basic welding, putting the frame together, welding it, the finishing, just grinding all the areas that has a tight tolerance. And when we came to the assembly area, it was really fun to see because this machine has a Hongniu sticker. But they made them with 5 other companies, and some of them are sold in America, some of them in Europe, some of them in Eastern Europe, some of them in Asia. And what was fun to see that Hongniu makes a lot of machines for other companies. They just put another sticker on it. And for me, that was the most interesting sign to make a deal with Hongniu. Because if other suppliers and other manufacturers give the job to Hongniu and just put their own sticker on it, then it must be a good deal also in China. You know what I mean? It's difficult. But if other Chinese manufacturers say, let Hongniu make it because they're doing a good job, their price and their quality must be in order. That's about it. if you have questions, I'm not going into all the specifics and the details and the 20 different nozzles that you can use. This is a nozzle. But I can, if you want, I can give you advice. And if you want, I can give you my contact person from Hongniu, that's Alex. But what is best, go to China. Fly to Jinan. They love to show you around. It's a fun trip. It's not that expensive. And if you buy a machine from Jinan, and not a machine that's twice as expensive, but the same machine from a local dealer, you've got money enough to fly there and get a better machine. Because if I didn't go to Jinan, I would probably not have bought the Hongniu machine, but something like Senfeng or Jiwik, which are much bigger factories, but their machines were more expensive and their build quality was less, from my opinion. And that's about it. If you have questions, just ask below. Maybe I make a new video, or maybe I just type the answer. And I'm not doing this to become a great YouTube channel, but if you like this video, just subscribe. That's your form of payment for my time that I've invested in this video. Also important, I do not get paid anything. This machine, I bought it. Some people from the Netherlands came here, they visited me and said, oh, that's a nice machine. Maybe I want one. A few weeks later, they came again, visited our workshop, asked more questions, and they bought this machine. And of course, Hongniu was happy. They sold an extra machine just because I was talking about it. So what do I get? I get a few new nozzles or something, like a present. But it's not for economics for me, it's not for money. I make these videos because I want to have more of these machines in the Netherlands. We need to make stuff here in Netherlands, or we need to make stuff in Belgium or in Germany, whatever. And with these machines, you can do that on in an affordable way. I'm rambling. Thank you very much. That's it. And I hope that you've learned something. And I hope that you're going to buy a machine because it's giving me a lot of fun working and production days. Bye-bye.